Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
Okay, let's dive into the rematch in Foxborough, Bills Patriots. This game, I left my mom's house really early in the morning. Had a long Christmas, but I wanted to make sure I was on the couch in my sweats, locked and loaded to watch this bad boy. And it was awesome. And for me, if I had to give an MVP of the day, hell, of the weekend, it would be to Josh Allen. Because let's rewind for a second. That game a couple weeks ago in Buffalo felt like it was a symbolic moment, right? One of the biggest games in years, in a couple decades, at that stadium. Obviously, the Bills just haven't been that good, so they haven't played that many big games. Last couple years, they've become a playoff team. Last year, there were no fans, despite them having an awesome season, right? Now, it's happening again. It looks like the Bills are poised, to kind of meet the Chiefs, maybe for a rematch in the AFC Championship game. And that game was a force of wills. And it was a force of the Patriots' will shoving them around. It was an embarrassing moment. I know the players, Hyde and Poyer, got mad with the media member about the word embarrassing, but it was, I understand defensively they only allowed 14 points, but we all witnessed it. Like, that was an awful loss. And sometimes you have a moment like that, it's hard to recover. And then the following week, they got to play Tampa, and they kind of no-show early on, but they battle back, but they still lose the game. Let's face it, their season felt like it was teeter-tottering. I didn't have much faith. I didn't bet on this game, but if I had, 100%, I was actually thinking about betting on the Bills just because I felt everyone was going to take the Patriots, but I didn't really believe in the Bills. Josh Allen was brilliant today. He was incredible. He was the MVP, I thought, of any player I watched today. Burrow was pretty good too. But Josh Allen, given the opponent, Belichick, that defense, he threw 3 touchdowns. He did it all. Throws inside the pocket, throws outside the pocket. He made several plays today, like flipping the ball, this underhand stuff. It was just kind of ad-libbing. It was incredible. Running the ball, I think he ran for 65 yards on the ground. A couple huge first downs. He was the best player on the field today, and I don't even think there was a close second. And I felt it shows you, right? The best part about football and talking about football and working in football and playing in football is every game matters. And when you have a bad loss or you have a big win, you take a lot from it. And we can change our opinions pretty drastically just based on a game. And the best part about huge division games, when you have 2 really good teams in a division, you get to play them again. And obviously going into Foxborough, a place they don't win, right? It's not a place that Josh Allen, not necessarily his fault, but like his franchise had a lot of success over the years. And they thoroughly outplayed him. I mean, they took it to him. You got to give Sean McDermott, who took a lot of heat. I thought Dable's game plan a couple weeks ago was terrible. Put this in Josh Allen's hand. Because the one thing you saw today, like Mac Jones, and listen, it's not fair to compare Mac Jones to Josh Allen. One guy's in his 5th year. The other guy, or I guess this is his 4th year. The other guy is, 75% way through his rookie season. But if you just look at the quarterbacks in the division, Mac, obviously Tua, and Zach Wilson, another rookie. Like, Zach is the most talented out of those 3 guys, just in terms of arm talent and athleticism. Obviously, Mac, he just doesn't possess, neither does Tua, what Josh Allen has in the bag. And I've come around on Josh Allen because coming out, I didn't see it because he was so inaccurate. He's clearly become a very accurate passer. Sometimes the decision-making can be a little Favrean, but the plays he made today were jaw-dropping. That was elite. That's why you pay a guy $150 million for that against the greatest coach ever on the road with your backs kind of against the wall. Your season that started off like you were on a rocket ship to be one of the best teams in the league. It was all falling apart, and you got it all right back. You made a huge trade. I guess it would have been last year or 2 years ago for Stephon Diggs. He was massive. Sometimes we overthink football. Your best players have to play at high levels in big games. Look at the Patriots. J.C. Jackson, who's been one of the best DBs in the league all season, really for the last couple years, got abused today. Maybe Diggs is just a tough matchup for him, but he got killed. And going back to the game a couple weeks ago, it's not normal to be able to win games like that. Several years ago in the NFC Championship, the Niners won a game with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball 8 total times. That's not normal in 2019, 2020, 2021. Mac Jones threw it 3 times, in the Monday Night Football win. Like that's an outlier. That'll never happen again for him in his career. It's just not going to be something that consistently ever happens. And you saw a couple times now against Indy and against Buffalo when you have to put it on him, on his shoulders. And in fairness, they're missing some wide receivers, but let's face it, it's not like those wide receivers are Julian Edelman and Randy Moss and Welker, right? He's not going to be able to carry you. They have to play good defense, and they have to run the football. And when Josh Allen's going to play like this, you're going to lose. You just are. The Patriots aren't good enough offensively to hang with a performance like that. Most teams aren't. Like, probably only the Chiefs, if Josh Allen's going to play, like, that's an all-pro performance. That's a performance that only a handful of guys in the league, especially when you factor in the running, even have in the bag. When he takes off like that with his size and speed, how many quarterbacks, obviously there's like Kyler and Lamar, but Josh can take off like a runner and he becomes Cam Newton on the ground. I mean, it's just, and the Patriots are a physical defense. So Sean McDermott, Brian Daboll, Josh Allen, obviously the Bills defense really responded because they got their teeth kicked in, a couple weeks ago. And they needed this one, and they needed this one bad. And now you watch a game like this, you go, listen, if their quarterback's on, they can beat anyone on any given day. I think we all would agree on that. Thanks for watching 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description, and make sure you subscribe right now to the Volumes YouTube channel.